welcome to this week's edition of the Dakota Angler 2-Minute Fishing Report. Well, finally, this week it looks like it's kind of turned the page and that Mother Nature's starting to cooperate with us a little bit. Monday we were exceptionally busy. A lot of people were going out, and taking advantage of some calmer weather, to say the least. The week leading up to Christmas weekend, was anything but calm. Plenty of wind, plenty of snow, and that kept a lot of fishermen off the lakes. The people that were going out Monday and Tuesday, coming back had favorable remarks. The accesses weren't too bad. Getting around on the lake can be challenging. I would recommend that you take a shovel with you no matter what mode of travel you're doing. I would not recommend driving a vehicle out there quite yet because the ice thickness, depending on the lake, is not uniform. But the reports have been, fairly favorable, especially Monday and Tuesday. With the number of walleyes that were being caught. The lakes up in the northeastern part of the state that produced walleyes included Waubay, Bitter, Dry Lake by Clark, Blue Dog, also a few being caught at Opitz, Midland, Indian Springs, and then also Goose. Down the southeastern part of the state, the lakes included the same usual lakes, as we like to say, Dry Lake by Willow Lake, Ponset, Thompson, Whitewood, also a few being caught at Spirit, Sinai, 81 Ponds, Twin, and remember Twin is the trophy lake, and then also Vermilion and Clear, which is just north of Sioux Falls, very shallow, hasn't winter killed yet, so a lot of nice walleyes still coming out of there. Now, what have you guys been doing to catch those walleyes? Now, leading up to the storm, a lot of people were using rattle jigs and, at least enticing them to come into the area and then hitting the dead stick. That kind of, pattern seems to be holding true, but I can guarantee you now, this week, with the pressure continuing to fall, that's going to be meaning a more aggressive type of presentation, a more aggressive type of bite. So you're not necessarily going to need the rattle, let's say the buckshot rattle spoon or the VMC rattle spoon, but it might not hurt to try it at least. But again, some of these other more aggressive ones like a jig and wrap or a shiver minnow probably is going to do the trick this next week. As far as the perch bite is concerned, that really took a hit with the weather, but a few were still being caught, especially early this week. The lakes like Waubay, Big Stone, Dry Lake by Clark, as well as Willow Lake. And then also Thompson, Sinai, 81 Ponds, a few being caught at Whitewood, as well as Madison, and then also Island. The crappie bite has also been impacted a little bit, but most of the lakes down here in the southeastern part of the state that were producing crappies before the storm are still doing so. The lakes that did so include Kempeska, Pickerel, also Ponset, Thompson, Henry, Sinai, and then also Vermilion. Now, what have people been using to catch the crappie and the perch? Anything small tungsten seems to be doing the trick right now. A lot of people have been using the Acme Pro Grade tungsten jig, also the VMC tungsten nymph and wax tail. If you need a little plastic, that jig comes pre-rigged with plastic and has worked quite well. Otherwise, live bait's been doing the trick, small minnows, as well as wax worms or maggots. In this week's edition of Todd's Tackle Tips, we're going to talk about Strikemaster ice augers. And the reason why is because the ice is getting thicker out there, and that old gas auger that you have or the handheld auger just isn't going to do the trick. And so you're going to think about upgrading your auger, and I would encourage you to think about an electric auger. Now, there's a number of other augers out there, such as the Ion auger, the Alpha auger by Ion. We'll talk about that in another week, but this week we're going to talk about Strikemaster augers, and I'm going to mainly talk about the 24-volt system that you see off to my right here. The reason I'm going to talk about that is a lot of times people come in here looking for, let's say, a light flight, a flighting that they can add to their cordless drill. Well, the light flight is basically right around an 8-inch auger, right around $220, give or take. And when you take that in, that will work quite well throughout the entire season. But as the ice gets thicker, it's going to take a little bit more toll on your cordless drill. Well, guess what? You have that 8-inch light flighting on your 24-volt system right here. So for $450, and again, give or take a few bucks here or there, you have your power head, which and then also your light flighting. So if you don't, early in the season or late in the season, you just want to use your cordless drill, guess what? You take the light flight and the flighting off, and now you got your light flight. When the ice gets thicker, like this time of the year and through January and early February, you have your power head. And that power head is good, and that battery is good for at least 40 to 50 holes of 16 inches of ice or more. So again, I can't encourage you enough to think about when you're thinking about buying a cordless, buying an electric drill to run your light flight or anything like that, come on by and take a look at the 24-volt system. This is what I run, And honestly, it is so light. It's one of the lightest augers made on the market. You're not going to regret it. And it has multiple purposes. Like I said, you can run it with a cordless drill, or you can use it with the power head. And if you're looking for a little bit more juice, so to speak, we also have the 40-volt system, as you can see behind me, and they come in a number of different models. So stop on by and take a look at these great augers from Strikemaster, because we're running a special promotion with them now. You buy an auger, you get a free hoodie, and also a few other goodies as well. So again, if you have any questions about this, give us a call at 605-336-9132, or better yet, stop by at the store, and I'll hook you up with this 24-volt auger. Now it's time to take a look at a few photos that you sent in to me this past week. And remember, folks, if you'd like your photo included in next week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report, and quite honestly, why not? Feel free to share it with me. Send it to Todd at dakotaangler.com or post it to our Facebook wall. And folks, if you haven't stopped here at the store or haven't shopped with us, the question is, why not? Stop on by. You'll come as, let's say, a guest or a first-time visitor. You'll leave as a friend and a returning customer. So again, all you need to do is stop on by here at the store. If you can't make it to the store, check us out on the web at dakotaangler.com. We have all your ice fishing needs that you can ever want, quite honestly, folks. So make sure you stop on by, introduce yourself, and tell us that you were invited with this report. If you have any questions, give us a call at 605-336-9132. Well, folks, that's this week's edition of the Dakota Angler 2-Minute Fishing Report for Dakota Angler. I'm the owner, Todd Heitkamp, and as we say around here, fish on! We'll see you next week. And again, thanks for watching, folks. Happy New Year, and I hope all of you had, again, a great Christmas. Stay healthy and stay safe.